right, so you're looking to sell your home and buy a new home, and you're wondering whether or not you should sell your current home or turn it into a rental. Guys, in this video, I'm gonna share 3 simple steps to help you go through the decision-making process of whether or not it makes more sense to rent your house out or sell your house out. Stay to the end. We've got some great tips for you, and we're gonna take the guesswork out of deciding what is going to be best for you. Welcome back to the 5-part series. In today's video, we're gonna cover everything you need to know in 3 simple steps about whether you should turn your house into a rental property or to sell it. And guys, this decision matters, especially for those of you who bought post 2021. You have a really good interest rate, you've got a lot of equity in your home, and you could equally benefit from either selling it and taking that equity, rolling it into the new house, or you might be sitting on an incredible investment property because of how low your mortgage is. You'd be able to cash flow very, very well. So how do we decide all of this? Well, I'm gonna get into these steps in just a second, but I just wanna encourage, if you guys are enjoying the content, please like and subscribe. My name is Patrick Lorienti. For those of you who've been on here before, welcome back. For those of you new, welcome to the channel. Anything that you guys have questions on, buying, selling, investing here in Colorado, I'm your guy. And as much as I love making these videos, I love nothing more to actually talk to you and help you achieve your real estate goals here in Colorado. My number and email are on this video. Reach out to me and we can skip the line of you having to watch all these video series and talk specifically to your situation and help you make smart real estate decisions. So don't hesitate to reach out. I can't wait to connect, and let's dive in. Step 1, evaluate your finances. I might make this decision very easy for you. The first question we have to ask is, do you need the equity in your current home in order to purchase the next one? Because you're buying your next house as a primary residence, you only need 3 to 5% down of the purchase price, so long as you're within county loan limits. Here in Colorado, most county loan limits at the time of watching this video are roughly around $800,000 to $850,000. If you're buying a home below that purchase price, then you can qualify for the loan product that only requires 3 to 5% down, and then you would need roughly about $10,000 to $12,000 in closing costs. And while we could likely get those paid for you by the seller, that's going to be the cost of buying your next home. So, do you need that equity in your current home to purchase, or do you have that in savings? If you don't need the equity, then maybe we really consider whether or not rental makes sense for you, which leads us to step number 2, analyzing your rental potential. It might not make any sense to make your home into a rental because it doesn't cash flow. The golden rule of thumb here is make sure your property cash flows. If you have the money to purchase the next house without pulling from your equity and your property cash flows, then this may be a good route for you. How do we determine whether or not your property cash flows? I'm gonna show you right here. First up, Google Zillow Rent Estimate Calculator. Click on this link and then just type in your address. Now, I've already found a house here in Colorado and it's a random house for sale, but we're gonna see what the rental value is on it. All you have to do, enter in the address, and Zillow is going to give you a rent estimate and show you the range of value that they expect you could get for renting your house. The other website I typically use is called Rent-A-Meter. I've already put in the address. Rent-A-Meter is nice because it gives you a low, medium, and high range of value for your rental, and then it gives you the average. Now, as you can see, the value range from Zillow to Rent-A-Meter can vary. And so the last thing I would do is I would look up rentals in your area on Zillow and just get an idea for what other homes or townhomes or condos are renting for in your neighborhood. And that's going to give you a rough ballpark of what you might be able to get in renting your house. Then you're going to take that number minus your mortgage, and that's your cash flow. Now look, I know you need to also include the potential for maintenance or vacancies, etc. My pro tip comes in of saving at minimum 3 months but ideally 6 months in reserve of your mortgage for the investment property. If you don't have a tenant and you're having to pay 2 mortgages at once, you don't have to pull from your income that you're using for your daily expenses. And step number 3 is consider your long-term goals. Guys, maybe you don't want to build wealth in this way. Maybe you're building wealth in other ways and it doesn't make sense to have a rental. Or maybe having a rental is very appealing for you and you'd love to start your investment portfolio. If you've went through step 1 and step 2 and it makes sense to turn it into rental, but it also kind of makes sense to sell it, then maybe it comes down to whether or not you want to manage a rental property. As great of a rental as your house might be, do you actually want to find tenants and manage tenants and have to repair things? Are you comfortable with being a landlord, or would you rather cash out and simplify? Guys, I own 2 rentals myself. I will tell you it's not a walk in the park. And guys, building wealth isn't easy, or else everyone would do it. So as good of a rental as your house might make, the stress-free option might be to sell it, and that way you're not having to manage the rental. Those are some of the things that you ought to consider when it comes to selling or renting your house out. Guys, to quickly summarize, first off, you need to identify, do you have the cash to purchase a new home, or do you need to pull from your equity? That's the first question, because it can rule out all options. If you do indeed need the equity, then it becomes very simple at that point. If you don't need the equity, you have the cash to buy a second home, then we need to determine whether or not your house makes a good rental. Does it cash flow? And do you have enough money to purchase the next home? And then third, it's just deciding your lifestyle and your long-term goals, whether or not you do want to wealth build this way or manage a rental to begin with. As I hope you found value in this video. If you did, again, I encourage you, please like and subscribe. And I do have a question for you. I'm curious, what is your biggest question about selling or renting your home? Drop it down in the comments. I will respond. And for those of you who would just like to jump on the phone call, have a conversation, my number and email are on this video. I am the one that reaches out, and I can't wait to connect with you guys. Stay tuned for part 4. We're going to talk about the mortgage pre-approval and why this is a game changer for buyers, and the immediate next step after deciding whether or not you're going to sell or rent your home. We'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.